Hi, in this video, we're going to continue with Axway Amplify Fusion and the MCP server journey. Recall in our last video, we created an MCP server and we have a tool called getMagicNumber, and we did connect to it from Postman, and you see I'm calling the getMagicNumber tool and it's giving me a magic number. There's no input for that tool. In this video, we're going to do two things. We're going to add another tool, but this one will take some inputs, and then we're also going to secure our MCP server with an API key. So let's go over to our integration. Let us deactivate the MCP server, and we will add a tool, and this tool is going to be called MagicNumberAdd. Actually, MagicNumberAdder. And again, the description is really important. And our description is going to be adds two numbers using magic. And again, recall the schema, which helps us define our inputs. And the last time we had a schema with no inputs. And this time we are going to have a property called A, which is of type integer. Let me make an example. Let's tighten this up a little. Okay. And let's have another. Let's have another variable input of, we'll call it B. So we're going to take A and B, and we don't need location. We need two required parameters, A and B. Okay, so that's my two integers, and they're both required. And let's create. And now what we need to do is we need to link an integration. And let's call the integration by the same name. So we'll forget, create new integration, and let's link the integration. And this time, let's add a map component. And what we'll do is we'll add a map function. Let's take a look at the math functions, and let's just add the two integers. So if I expand my request, in the body we'll see integer A and integer B. And if you recall from the last video, we need to set the type of response. We're going to provide text content. And if we expand the response, expand text content, not the header, but the result content, let's take our output and set it to text. And that's it. We've just created our second tool. Let's activate the MCP server and connect to it from Postman. All right, let's connect. And this time we're going to find two tools. Go to magic number, and let's take 100 plus 1 and see that we get 101. And 100 plus 101 is 201. So that's our tool, and we just tested it. What I want to do now is let's add API key security to our MCP server, and we do this just the way we do it with our APIs. We come to the security tab, select API key, create a governance rule, give it a name, and the location is going to be in the header, and we'll say x-API key. Let's use that for the name. Let me copy that. Let's save and activate our API, or our MCP server, excuse me. And now what we can do is come back over here. Let's disconnect and then connect. And we see we've got a problem here. And what we need to do is we need to go to the manager. So I'm in the manager. I'm already in applications, but you come over to the applications tab, and let's create an application. my MCP server, and we need to add our MCP server in it, which is my Fusion MCP server, and data plane again. This is exactly what you do for APIs, and we can add an API key and click update. And now when I come over to Postman, so for the MCP, they support Postman supports a couple different auth types, but for API key, we can just enter the key name, and then I can take the value here and paste it in. And let me come back over here, and now I can probably connect better. And of course, I see the two tools. There's my magic number, and here's my MagicNumberAdder. And there you have it. So in this video, we continued on the MCP server journey. We added a second tool. This one took some inputs. So we showed how the input schema is modified to accept two required inputs. And then we, in our tool, we actually just did some math on the two integers and returned that. And then we secured our MCP server with an API key and called it from Postman. Thank you.